Hi, my dear students. Today we are going to study the next part of our present chapter, Up You Go. In our first part, we learn how the writer Sangeeta could overcome her fear and how she achieved her confidence and courage after crossing the river. In this part, she is explaining one another experience about her new task, rock climbing. Rock climbing. We had to climb 15 kilometers to reach Tekla village. It was at a height of 1600 meters. Our rucksack had all that we may need: food packets, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, wind cheater, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana, and some other snacks. They had to climb around 15 kilometers to reach Tekla village. This village was at a height of 1600 meters. They were carrying their rucksack on their back. They filled their rucksack with all the items they need on the way of their journey. They were food packets, water bottles, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, wind cheater, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana, and some other snacks. We could see fruits and vegetables growing in the step fields. We saw Colonel Ramsing standing on a 90 meters high flat rock with pegs and ropes. On the way, they could see fruits and vegetables growing in the step fields. They saw that their Colonel Ramsing was standing on a flat rock at a height of 90 meters with pegs and ropes. Let us see how they start their climbing. We had been told to first observe the rock carefully and identify holes, places where we can put our hands and feet. Today I was not going to back out. I stood first in the line. Our instructor tied a rope around his waist. He put the sling and held the thick rope which was hanging. He started climbing as if he was running up. I also put my sling, but as I took my first step, I slipped, and there I was swinging from the rope. Before climbing the rock, they had to observe the rock carefully. Then only they can identify the holding places on the rock, where they can put their hands and feet. Sangeeta was not going back this time. She stood first on the line because the previous task, crossing the river, gave her a lot of confidence and courage. Their instructor started climbing by tying a rope around his waist and wearing the sling. He was climbing just like he was running. She also put her sling, but on her first step she slipped from the rock. She was hanging on the rope. Keep your body at an angle of 90 degrees while climbing. I heard. Keep your back straight. Do not bend. Keeping this in mind, I imagined the rock as flat ground and started to climb up. Again, while coming down, we had to use the rope in a special way called rappelling. I did this with the same fearlessness. While climbing, she got some instructions from her instructor. He told her to keep her body at an angle of 90 degrees and keep her back straight. Don't bend her back while climbing. She accepted his words. She imagined that the rock is like a flat ground and started to climb up. They had to use this same rope for coming down also. The way of coming down the rock is called rappelling. She started climbing without any fear. On 14th February, they faced a funny incident. Let us see what happened. It was evening. Kondonbi was feeling hungry. We did not have anything to eat. She jumped over the fence and got into a field. She quickly plucked two big cucumbers and came back. Just then, a woman came from behind and caught hold of her bag. In the evening, Kondonbi was feeling hungry. The food items they brought was finished. There was nothing to eat. So she jumped over the fence of a near field. She plucked two big cucumbers from the field and came back. Suddenly a woman came there and caught her bag. Let us see what is she going to do. She started saying something to Kondonbi in her own language. We could not understand what she was saying. Kondonbi was trying to explain in her Mizo language, which we could not understand. I tried to explain in Hindi, but neither of them could understand it. Finally, I folded my hands to say that we were sorry. The woman who came there started saying something to Kondonbi in her language. Kondondi did not understand her words. She tried to explain the incident in her own language. We know that Kondondi only know Miso. The woman could not understand anything. Sangeeta tried to explain in Hindi, but they both could not understand anything. Finally, she folded her hands to say that they were sorry for that incident. By then, our group had gone far ahead. It was already dark. I thought we had lost our way. Now we were really scared. We could not see anything even with our torches. I started sweating even though it was cold. I tightly held Kondonbi's hand. I called out loudly, "Where are you all? Can you hear me?" After that funny incident, they continued their journey. By that time, their group had gone far away from them. They thought they lost their way. Now they're really scared. They could not see anything with their torches. Even if it was cold, Sangeeta started sweating with fear. She held the hand of Kondonbi tightly and called loudly, "Where are you all? Can you hear me?" Let us what happened to them. My voice echoed in the mountains. We both started to whistle loudly and flashed our torches. Probably the group had noticed that we were missing. We heard some whistles at a distance. I understood the signal. We held each other's hand tightly and waited. Kondonbi felt that we should keep talking. She started singing a miso song loudly. After some time, we saw them coming towards us. At last, we were with the group again. Her voice echoed in the mountains. They started whistling loudly and flashed their torches. At this time, their group members also noticed that they missed Sangeeta and Kondonbi. They also started whistling. Sangeeta and Kondonbi heard the sound of whistle at a distance. They held their hand tightly. In order to make sound, Kondonbi started singing a miso song loudly. After some time, they saw that others are coming towards them. At last, they joined the group again and continued their journey. Okay, students, we will continue the last part of this chapter in our next class. This is the last class before your second terminal examination. All of you study well and prepare for the examination. Wish you all the best. Thank you all. Bye.